Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Just thought I would pop in and talk to you about what's going on in the planets and the stars. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for November 25th through 27th, 2019. So, the theme of this Gaia Daily is pieces coming together. And one of this energy is about now that Mercury's retrograde, Mercury has moved off of its degree that it was hanging on as it turned direct, and so it's moving in forward again, and that means it's coming into its third and final trine with Neptune. A lot of what this Mercury retrograde has been about. So we're in the completing phase of this Mercury retrograde. Mercury won't come out of its retrograde shadow, meaning getting back to the degree that it started on, until December 8th. So we have close to 2 weeks of resolution time. But this deep dive in Scorpio has been intense. It's been a very powerful inward journey. And now it's coming to the surface where we are feeling it, we're seeing it, we're maybe going to get a chance to understand it. But in trine to Neptune, it's about coming out of delusion into truth, and particularly the truth that we're connected to a greater whole, a kind of a big spiritual impulse in our lives. And so how does that relate to this deeper inner journey into the depths of our psyche with this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio? Plus, Neptune's turning direct on the 27th in just a couple of days. And that's a huge energy because Neptune will be moving off of 15 degrees. And then that means entering the second part of Pisces. Over halfway through its journey, very slow moving planet, and halfway through its journey in Pisces, saying that it is time to turn the corner on the distortions of the Piscean age and prepare for the age of ahead. This is highlighted also by Mars in Scorpio, but opposing Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, in Taurus. So that is exact today, and we'll be feeling that till the end of the month, but we're kind of peaking out in that energy. Now, Mars is the ruler of Aries and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. These are the two most freedom-loving signs. There's a huge energy right now, which is so interesting, this lining up, this coming together of all these different pieces of astrology, because at Mars opposite Uranus is speaking to what's in the way, because Mars always wants to move, and so what's in the way of moving into the new energies, into the new chapter, but this incredible desire for freedom. And now we're talking about soul freedom and the chains that may have bound us for lifetimes and bound our families, our lineages for generations. And maybe all of this that we're going through, our journey into the depths, is about breaking free, right? Like when we have deep suppressed traumas, if we can't access them, it's very difficult to heal those energies. And so maybe this deep dive in Scorpio has been giving us an opportunity to go into these patterns, into these energies. Not very fun, but clearly it's saying that we're being given a huge opportunity to break free. And that is being supported by this Jupiter today, the exact of Jupiter and Venus right there, very close to the Galactic Center. And the Galactic Center has a very wide range. So that energy, like we said, is going to continue to be affecting us over these next months. But right now, Venus and Jupiter sitting right there on the Galactic Center. And this is like the center of everything, the Great Mother, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It's got a huge energy of a magnetic pull, like pulling us towards our destiny, our collective destiny, our individual destiny. In this case, maybe our feminine destiny, the destiny of the female within all of us and on the planet. And the goddess is ready to rise again. The goddess is ready to heal all of these wounds and distortions and claim back her soul, put the pieces back together. You know, the persecution that's happened over so many lifetimes for so many of these souls is when, even if you were in a male body, it had to do with your feminine side. And that feminine side has been cast aside. It's been separated from us. It's been traumatized, and it's been devalued. It's been persecuted, and it's time to bring that part of ourselves home. And that is also, how we do that is that we have to break these chains with the forces, the powers outside of us where we gave over our power. And that's, everything's on the table right now. This huge magnetic pull in our life with the Galactic Center. It's like, you can't stay, it's like, it's up to you, and it's a choice that we can make, but it's getting harder and harder to stay in the situations of our lives and the concepts of our conceptual reality, our psychology, that keep us in chains and keep us giving our power away. It's time to take it back. And what a powerful energy of lining up to do this. So I'm getting some messages around this Galactic Center activation that this magnetic energy is kind of pulling us out of ourselves into this kind of greater awareness of the bigger part of who we are, the part we've forgotten, the part we've been gaslit against, the part that we have cast aside in order to find safety and security. And the effect of that is also having an opportunity to retract in a very dramatic and profound way parts of our soul that may be stuck in other dimensional time frequencies or in other people's energy fields or our mother's womb, perhaps, wherever we haven't been able to differentiate, maybe those codependent relationships from this or other lifetimes. And it's like this part of ourselves is like snapping back home. Now that can be dramatic because also it's going to awaken these deeper traumas that we have not been able to face and feel, and there's a lot of anxiety energy. Our nervous system is super activated with that Mars opposite Uranus, but we're in this incredibly potent portal of energy right now with this Jupiter, epic Jupiter, Venus, Galactic Center, and Mercury now direct in trine with Neptune, just as Neptune turns direct. And that Mars opposite Uranus, it's like everything's lining up for us. And are we going to take the opportunity? And one of the other messages that are coming through right now is about different trajectories that are happening in people's lives. And it's almost like if you are feeling this Galactic Center activation, you've been waiting for this moment for many lifetimes. And your life is about to go off in a different direction, perhaps, or up or down or different, and that could be very different from the people around you. And we're having this very powerful opportunity to choose what timeline we want to be on, and if we're not ready to face those traumas and we kind of are addicted to them and that's what feels safe, then we can stay on the misery timeline. But if we're ready to jump over to that divine timeline, now is the time. And this is going to be amplified and ongoing through the end of the year. There's an incredible amount of astrology happening over this next 6 weeks, leading us into January 2020. And then it doesn't get any mellower then, and so I'm going to have an update about that because we have this very potent and powerful time as our personal planets all take their turn going over this Galactic Center area and reactivating this energy in our life. So these things are super lining up now. Tomorrow, so Venus and Jupiter are together exact today on the 25th, but tomorrow Venus moves in. Venus is a quick mover, right? And she's our, what we call the daily planets, our personal planets that affect more of our daily life. And so Venus is crossing over that threshold, the first one of the group to move into Capricorn tomorrow. So the Capricorn explosion of 2020, early 2020 and beyond is activating. But what's so interesting is that Chiron is right there at Aries at 1 degree. So that means that Venus is coming into a square with Chiron. And Chiron is our deepest wounds. And in Aries, it's about whether or not it's okay for us to be who we really are and still exist, right? So we're talking about all those places we have compensated ourselves, forgotten who we are, cast aside the truth of ourselves in order to try to have some, survive in some sort of security and safety and in this realm, but that itself has gotten us stuck in the karmic patterns, bringing us back again and again to replay these same patterns over and over again. And Venus in square to Chiron, and then Jupiter in the first week of December, right when Mercury comes out of its retrograde shadow, Jupiter's in the square with Chiron. And so we're having some pretty potent and powerful energies around healing those deep, deep wounds around whether or not it's okay to be who you really are. And then it's kind of like, well, who am I, right? And this Galactic Center activation is like beaming you up to who you are. But who you are might have been traumatized, and who you are might have been gone through all these things. And so there's a lot to resolve. And, to the point you could have cast this aside to the point where you don't even recognize it. You don't even know that you're not who you are right now. So it's quite a reorientation that needs to happen. But the stars are saying right now, and the planets, that it's time to put ourselves back together and use these planetary energies to our advantage to be present. Okay, so the Neptune energies can often make us want to escape, into a fantasy world, just escape with substances or technology, whatever helps you escape from your reality. But we've been running from these trauma feelings for so long, and the powerful energy of being able to sit present and tight and feel and move through these feelings, the universe is supporting us in this right now. So it's a good time to do it. And we're together in this as well. So many soul groups are super activated right now in this process. And so your brothers and sisters are out there going through this as well. Even if you don't see them in your life yet, they're out there and they're connected to you, even though you might see, if we can't recognize our true self and we can't embody that true self because we can't recognize it, then how are we going to recognize our soul team? And so this retraction of these parts of ourselves is necessary to be able to move into these next chapters, especially around being able to find our soul team and get to work on these amazing projects. 2020 has a lot of energy of intense breaking down of old structures, but also building new structures and manifesting, bringing those dreams, this Neptune, Mercury trine Neptune, that's about our dreams, activating our dreams. And maybe this soul retrieval energy is about coming back into your greatest dreams that you didn't even know you had, and recognizing that a whole bunch of stuff you might have focused on in this life doesn't really resonate. So it's just a lot of upheaval in the psyche right now, but it's a really, really healthy, good thing. And then in the Capricorn energy, there's a lot of energy for manifesting these dreams and bringing them into actual reality, hard work paying off, and building a new foundation for a new reality. And first, we got to put ourselves back together in order to do that. So take advantage of this powerful time. I hope that you'll consider joining me today, later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West, 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. on the East Coast for new moon, Sagittarius new moon activation. We're feeling these new moon energies, and it is this new start to the new you, which is actually the old you that you forgot who you were. So really great opportunity to tap into these energies and make the most of this incredible lining up and pieces coming together as we complete this intense Mercury retrograde in Scorpio and figure out what this might all be about together. So I hope I'll see you there. If you can't make the live, your intention to join, put your energy, your questions in there, and those channeled messages can reach you, and you can catch it whenever you can. And the actual full moon happens about 12 hours later, a little bit more than that. And so we have some time to kind of get into these energies. And the new moon energies typically are about 24 hours before and 24 hours after the actual new moon. So it's about a 2-day window where we can really kind of tap into the new start that's available to us. And we really need this right now, especially in Sagittarius, of the bigger picture and the wider view of reality. Very, very helpful in this moment. So thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of it. And I look forward to seeing you at the activation or on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.